Today's October 29th, 2016. Scott, my nephew, is videoing this of my collection of Native American art. And we are at my home, 24 Sunset Road, Bloomington, Illinois. And these are the things that I love and have collected over the past 20-25 years. Some of my most valuable pieces. This is by Nampeyo. It's called The Old Lady of Hano, and she was Hopi. She's like the first great potter out there. These black pieces are from San Ildefonso, Desideria, Maria pieces. Down here are more Hopi pieces. And this is Cochiti by Helen Cordero, the turtle. And we'll just keep on scrolling down. This purse is I just forgot her name. Well, we'll look that up. And as you go down, this is a Maria plate and more Hopi, a canteen, Hopi again. So these are at the front door of my home, and they are resting on this Hopi wedding sash. Beautifully done. And over here is a little Navajo folk art piece I got because I love this blue cornflower. At the door, we have 3 carvings like Kachina heads, and those are by Greg Lomayesva. One of my favorite artists. We'll see more of his pieces as we go through the house. This is a moon piece, 3-dimensional, and it's by Nora Naranjo Morse, and she is from Santa Clara and has become a friend of mine. As we look at the staircase, this piece I bought at Sotheby's in New York. It has German bells on it, beadwork, and all different kinds of hide. And it was used like a picture in teepees. It would hang on the wall like we have a picture, but it's all individually tanned hides. Got at a Sotheby's auction. And we come into the living room. This is one of my favorite pieces, Richard Zane Smith, and it's called The Garden. Each one of these is individually hand-coiled pottery. And Richard is Wyandotte. Also has become a friend of ours. Here's a very large canteen, heartline deer, corn. A lot of the pieces have to do with corn. And if we turn around, this sand painting was in, I'll show you the booklet from this show. I helped curate a show at the American Craft Museum in New York, and this is a sand painting by Joe Ben Jr. And it has ground up coal, ground up turquoise, dirt from the reservation, and it has the comet coming across. And we got this piece just before our granddaughter Hazel was born, and it signified Hazel coming to us. And the black here are the stars in the sky. I got that, it was in the show that we curated. I guess we better just keep going here. This is a basket from the famous Black family with a turtle and butterflies. And we'll go across the fireplace. This was the first piece I got from Anita Fields, and that is who did the purse in the first cabinet. And I met her at the Heard Museum when she had a show and bought this directly from her. And it symbolizes an elk dress, Native American dress. And she did these dolls for me, clay, and then old linen handkerchiefs from her family. We keep going across here. These are by the polished blackware is work by Maria, and this abstract figure is Virgil Ortiz, who I've met recently. He's one of the most creative artists out there today. This little piece here is by Ron Hanyuti, who's become a friend of ours too. He's from Third Mesa, Hopi, and he actually carved these three dolls in bigger form and gave them to Hazel. They're the dolls that are given to little girls. Let's see what else is here that's Native American. We'll go around here. A large horny toad pot I got from Jan Musial. And these are churro sheep. I saw these and just fell in love with them. And my friend Artie Nowers carried these back in his car. And it's actually the wool that Navajos spin and make their rugs out of. So these guys kind of guard the living room. Now we're in the first room of the gallery. We have a Northwest Coast piece here by Tim Alfred. It's a mask. This picture is by Susan Point, and it is Northwest Coast too. Love dragonfly, so I got that. We start with a few rugs here. This one is Home Sweet Home. Couldn't pass that up. Again, woven with the churro sheep. Shows the Hogans where they live and the sheep. Very important in their life. So here we go. 2, 3 Kachinas in the corner. Wilford Kay, his Stonewise brother, very famous Kachina carver. Harry especially loves the Kachinas. I was more interested in pottery, but we've mixed them. These are some of my favorites. These are mainly Hopi. Les Naminga pieces on this shelf. Les has also become a good friend of ours. And down here is more work by Les Naminga. The bottom shelf shows Parfleche Possible bags, a matched pair. They have porcupine quill, horsehair, and beadwork. And there's also a pair of beaded moccasins on that bottom shelf too. Some of these I got at auction. Here are pieces by the Nampeo family. Those baskets on the top, 2 Hopi baskets on the left and a Navajo basket on the right. And we come down. The piece on the right is by Dexter Kotskiva, probably the most famous living Hopi potter today. It's been my great fortune to have known her. We take sweet corn out to her house, and that piece is called the best fine line piece of pottery ever created. I have an article about it that was in the Chicago Tribune. And that's a hummingbird kachina and more pottery by Dexter. So her work goes from very traditional fine line to this piece down here, which she calls Clouds on the Hopi Reservation. Totally abstract. I love that. So these are all pieces by Dexter Kotskiba. And on down on the next shelf too, by Dexter. The one on the left is called Hopi Textiles. I don't know that she ever did another one of those. She's in her late 80s now. We also got to know her husband, Edwin, and I would take corn out to him. Butterfly. Down on the bottom are pieces by Jay Coopy on the left, and unfortunately he passed away at a very young age. He was the up-and-coming Hopi potter. And on the right is the Nampeyo family piece. Can we get through here? More baskets on the top, Hopi in the middle, and Navajo on the left and right. Next row down is another piece by Anita Fields, a triptych. That's on a linen handkerchief. Again, that's a picture of her and her son at a dance. She is Osage. Next shelf down is one of my favorite guys, Steve Lucas. We go out and stay with him on the reservation, First Mesa at Palaka. And that's a picture of us on the left when he's doing firing. Love to be out there with him. Pieces coming down on the right is by Rainey Naha. She's Hopi. And then as you go across, this small one with the neck is the first piece I bought on a trip with Marty Strever. I called Harry back that day and said, "Put more money in the bank because I love this." Coming down is a large plate that Steve Lucas did, and we were with him when he made that and when he fired it. It is in the magazine. I'm going to show you pieces by him. This is a copy of the catalog at the American Craft Museum called Changing Hands, Art Without Reservation. And here are some of the pieces that right here is the plate you just saw. And here's Harry and I at that show in New York. Here's Joe Ben. Wait a minute. And this is the piece in the living room I just showed you with the comet coming in. That was mine. So this was a lot of fun to do that show. Very exciting times.